His Excellency, Mr. Yoweri Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency, Mr. Armando Guebuza, President of the Republic of Mozambique, Her Excellency, Madam Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, Chairperson of the African Union Commission, His Excellency, Mr. Wani Iga, Vice President of the Republic of South Sudan, Honorable Ministers, Ambassador Maged Abdelaziz, Under-Secretary General and Special Advisor on Africa, United Nations, Amir Dossal, Global Partnerships Forum Chairperson, ladies and gentlemen. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome you here today on behalf of Africa Investor to our Heads of State Investment Dialogue. Africa Investor as an institution has dedicated itself to promoting and intermediating capital to African investment opportunities through our growing domestic and global investment partnerships. Excellencies, this morning we've heard from African capital market leaders and pension funds who have been informing global investors about Africa's investment climate and very specific opportunities. The goal has been to look at the critical issues which are focused on intra-African investment, mobilizing domestic sovereign and pension fund capital, infrastructure investment, and innovative platforms to engage diaspora capital in support of capital market investment opportunities. Africa's domestic international capital base is set for important growth. Africa's 6 largest pension funds by asset size will nearly triple to $622 billion by 2020, from $260 billion in 2010, and by 2050, this could balloon, we understand, to $7.3 trillion, an important source of domestic capital for the continent's growth, you will agree. These assets alone are greater than any aid Africa has received over the last 10 years or can expect over the next decade. This summit, in partnership with UN OSA and the Global Partnerships Forum, launched a process in 2005, which culminated in 2011 in this very room, with the African Union present and supportive, to launch the AI Heads of State Investment Advisory Council as a forum for investors to research and lend advice and practical steps to the African Union, heads of state, and investors to ensure that we can collectively take steps to increase capital flows to the continent. Excellencies, leaders, investment leaders convened here today in this room have a very clear and defined interest aligned to working with Africa Investor in partnership with the African Union to support our mutual aims to increase capital flows across our continent. Pursuant to this, Africa Investor has researched and affirms that intra-African trade is a very critical issue, sitting at around 12 to 15%. But intra-African investment is sitting at 5%, with a projected annual compound growth rate of 25 to 30% over the next 10 years. By contrast, intra-European investment in 2010 was sitting at 82%. So we therefore like to work together to ensure that the continent can set a target over the next 10 years in that 60% region. We think that's completely possible. Madam Chairperson, to achieve this, we're calling for an investment pact. We're calling for a call to action between us with the African Union to pursue this goal, where we prioritize and pursue a stated 10-year intra-African investment growth target. We believe the consequences of this initiative will go a long way towards raising the continent's investment profile, where domestic capital will act as a catalyst to attract and retain global capital. Excellencies, we applaud your commitment to engage the investment community in support of the continent's economic transformation, and we stand ready to partner with you on this journey.
Doing business in Africa, you can't afford to be without Africa Investor.